here we are at the English Premier Yearling Sale. Exciting time for everyone, but for you, how do you enjoy this sale?
You really enjoy it. Only thing about it is that when you at the other sales, you have a chance to sleep in, and here you don't. You've got to work your horses to get here, so I suppose it makes it for longer days, but look, it's good to have the incentive here, especially the Super Ovis and Ovis Gold. We've been lucky enough to have a really good trot with it this year and a lot of extra money for the owners. So it's a great concept, and the sale's getting stronger and stronger. The quality's definitely getting better. I thought the catalogue was, breeding-wise, a long way stronger, and it's starting to really have great support in there.
When you start looking at horses, what are some of the key points that you target or go for?
I'm a little bit lucky that my brother Paul does most of it now. I come in for the final say and
You're the
look
one
with
putting
him.
your hand up and spending the money.
Yeah, I'm spending the money on behalf of my client, so I've got to make sure that it's all okay with me as well. So, look, we buy athletes. I remember Paul telling me one day he hopes when he sees an athlete that he really hopes it's a page that's not by a stone that everyone loves, so we buy them cheaper.
Yeah.
So the breeding has not been. Look, current breeding hasn't worried us. We're believers in something we see in the horses further back in the family that we know. Paul lived in England for about 12 years there for a while and saw all the better race horses here, and hence further back in their pedigrees we've seen a lot of things that Paul sees in these sort of horses and the better points. So we're more into that sort of thing, and if they're athletes and take our eye, that's what we buy.
It's a system that's worked quite well for your stable. We see you have 2-year-old success, look at classic 3-year-olds, and then give them longevity. So it's been a tried and true system.
Yeah, look, we've ended up with 7 Group 1 winning 2-year-olds right through to a Melbourne Cup winner. So been pretty lucky that way. And we started off I only started off with 5 horses of my own, and then Paul's helped with the selection without any doubt. We both did it for a while, then I got busy at training, and it's been effort. Paul has done a great job. I think he's bought something like 32 individual Group 1 winners as yearlings, and a lot of them are under 50,000, which is strange. And I think that's probably the reason why I don't get a lot of horses by breeders. But we've always had to sort of source our own all the way through. I've never really been offered a lot of horses to train, and so the success has really been made through yearling sales and Paul and that. So it's ended up a really good team.
You mentioned helping Victoria racing, the Super Ovis, the Ovis Gold. Is it a key element when you're looking at a purchase for your owners, and the fact that prize money's so great?
Yeah, look, I think when we go to buy one that we really like on type in Super Ovis, we will put an extra couple of bids in, knowing that there's a good chance of recouping that, and it's a good selling point. And as I said, this year here, we've been lucky enough to have got a fair bit of it back, the Super Ovis money, and over the last couple of years we've been pretty lucky that way. So
over the course of time you've also created a few winning stallions and also raced some wonderful mares. Do you look at the family background and little things as well?
Yeah, look, I suppose as you get older you get wiser, because you end up with things that you see. I trained his grandmother, which is a bit worrying, but it's certainly we see. I think that's one thing about age is you get a bit wiser, I suppose, is what they call it, wisdom. But and in this industry I think it's a big thing, because you do get to see and remember a lot of those good horses out of these families, and some of you trained yourself. So
family traits.
They are family traits. They pass on without any doubt. So certainly little wee things. And Paul and I test each other. We'll put red circles around something in the family. He'll say, "What do you think?" And I go, "Yep, you're dead right," or "No, you're wrong," or whatever. But we certainly do look at that sort of thing, and we've been lucky enough to have trained a lot of good horses over the term, and out of great families, and nice numbers to say that we can get a pretty good grip on most pedigrees.
It sounds like you've got some great trust between yourself and Paul through purchasing horses, racing horses. So when you get it right, is there a lot of self-satisfaction that you've done it together?
Yeah, it certainly is, yeah. No, it definitely is. We had a little saying between each other years ago when we were buying Group 1 winner after Group 1 winner, and he'd send me a text and go, "It's an easy game, isn't it?" Because we know damn well it's not. And it was our little quirk between each other. And that I remember he said to me one time, and it started off rambling, and I thought, he must have known I trained a Group 1 winner today. And the last bit was, tell the person that made the rules up, this is just too easy a game, sort of thing, the last bit. So we do that between each other, bit of joking, but we realise how hard it is to find these Group 1 winners, and we've been lucky enough to have had a few of them. So
I suppose the ultimate comeback is, I know you bought it, but I trained it.
Dead right. He always says it's because of him, and I always say it's my training. So pretty even on that, I suppose. But certainly it's been a great business together. So
For those who want to get involved, how do we do so through the your stable?
look, we've always got horses there. BallymoreStables.com.au. We've got some shares left in, and that. But just ring Anthony or myself. The numbers are, strange enough, my number that's in the racing calendar is actually Anthony's, and I got asked to change it for about 2 years, and they still didn't. And I thought, well, this is easy. All the owners are ringing him, and I'll be lounging back there, not taking the calls. So, but look, if you can do that, we've got a good clientele around us, and we have a good fun time, and hopefully race some good horses. I'm sure that by buying through Ballymore with quality in the selection, we cut the odds back in our favour without any doubt.